money. Every time your phone buzzes at 2 a.m. with a frantic tenant text about a running toilet, you're losing money. Every time you drop everything to call a plumber for a slow drain, you're losing money. I used to get those midnight texts. My tenants thought every drip was a 5-alarm fire. My phone was a constant source of anxiety, not income. Then I built a system that now handles every maintenance request automatically, triages it, and dispatches the right person at the right time. Your sanity is worth more than a leaky faucet, and your bank account agrees. Here's exactly how you build that system. Your current maintenance system, a jumble of texts, voicemails, and hurried phone calls, is costing you time, money, and sleep. When a tenant texts you about a flickering light, you're immediately pulled into a reactive state. There's no record, no clear scope of the problem, and no way to track resolution. This lack of structure leads to forgotten requests, duplicated efforts, and escalated tenant frustration. A study by the National Association of Residential Property Managers found that landlords without a standardized request system spend, on average, 30% more time per week on maintenance issues than those with a system. Imagine what you could do with an extra day and a half each month. You're essentially paying yourself less by not having a clear, documented process. Now here's where it gets interesting. You need a single, dedicated channel for all maintenance requests. Not your personal cell, not your email. A tenant portal, a dedicated maintenance email, or even a simple online form. This forces tenants to articulate the problem in writing, often including photos or videos. This single act reduces your response time by 60% because you have the necessary information upfront to diagnose the issue or dispatch the correct vendor, rather than playing phone tag for clarification. Without a clear classification system, every maintenance issue feels like an emergency to your tenant, and often to you. This leads to costly after-hours calls for non-critical problems. You need to define and communicate 3 distinct categories: emergency, urgent, and routine. An emergency is anything that poses an immediate threat to life, health, or property, or renders the property uninhabitable. Think burst pipes, gas leaks, or no heat in winter. Urgent means it needs attention soon to prevent further damage or significant inconvenience, like a persistent leak or a non-functioning refrigerator. Routine covers everything else: a dripping faucet, a loose cabinet door, or a slow drain. Here's the proof. I once had a tenant call me at 3 a.m. because their garbage disposal wasn't working. It cost me an emergency plumber call-out fee of $350. Had I had this triage system in place and communicated it clearly, that would have been a routine request handled during business hours for $120. Defining these categories and educating your tenants on them prevents everything from feeling like a crisis, saving you hundreds, if not thousands, in unnecessary emergency service calls. Your lease agreement should explicitly outline these categories and the expected response times for each. Your current vendor list is probably a collection of numbers you've accumulated over the years. But are you getting the best value? Relying on a single vendor for a specific trade, or worse, using whoever your tenant found online, is a surefire way to overpay. Vendor markups average between 20 to 40% for services, and that's before they add their own materials. You need a vetted network of reliable, cost-effective contractors. But wait, there's a catch. You can't just pick the cheapest guy. Quality matters. For any job exceeding $500, you must get at least 3 competitive quotes. This isn't just about price. It's about comparing scope of work, warranty, and availability. For example, a recent water heater replacement for one of my units came in at $1,200 from my usual plumber, $950 from a new guy they first found through a referral, and $1,500 from an online service. The $950 quote came with the same warranty and was completed within 24 hours. That's $250 in your pocket. Cultivate relationships with multiple vendors in each trade: plumbing, electrical, HVAC, general handyman. Always check their California contractor license status on the CSLB website and verify their insurance. This due diligence protects your assets and ensures quality work. Reactive maintenance is a money pit. Fixing things after they break is always more expensive than preventing them from breaking in the first place. You need a proactive preventive maintenance schedule. This isn't optional. It's a non-negotiable part of responsible property management. Think of it like changing the oil in your car. You do it to avoid a blown engine. A $200 annual HVAC service call where a technician cleans coils, checks refrigerant levels, and inspects components can prevent a catastrophic $5,000 unit replacement. Ignoring a minor roof leak can lead to thousands in dry rot and mold remediation. Your schedule should include annual HVAC servicing, semi-annual gutter cleaning, quarterly pest control, and checking smoke CO detectors biannually. For units with garbage disposals, schedule an annual checkup to clear any buildup. I had a landlord who ignored annual dryer vent cleaning for 5 years. The resulting lint buildup caused a small fire, leading to $7,000 in smoke damage and an insurance claim. A $75 vent cleaning would have saved him that headache and the increased insurance premiums. This isn't about spending money, it's about investing to prevent catastrophic losses. You're skeptical of tech, and for good reason. But the right tools automate the tedious parts of maintenance, giving you back your time and control. You don't need a fancy property management software suite that costs hundreds a month. Start simple. A dedicated maintenance email address that automatically creates a ticket in a free or low-cost task management system, like Trello or Asana, is a powerful first step. The system works like this. Tenant submits a request via a form or dedicated email. This automatically generates a task. You review, triage it, emergency, urgent, routine, and assign it to a vendor from your vetted list. The vendor receives the notification, completes the work, and updates the task. You get a notification of completion, review, and close the loop with the tenant. This creates a digital paper trail for every single request, protecting you in potential disputes. For example, a tenant once claimed a recurring plumbing issue was ignored for months. My digital log showed every request, every vendor dispatch, and every resolution proving otherwise. This isn't about being fancy, it's about being efficient and defensible. You're not losing control, you're gaining transparency and peace of mind. Here's what you need to remember. First, a written maintenance request system reduces your response time by 60%. Get rid of the ad hoc texts and calls. Second, categorize requests as emergency, urgent, or routine to stop every minor issue from feeling like a crisis. Third, for any job over $500, get at least 3 quotes. Vendor markups average 20 to 40%. Don't leave money on the table. Fourth, embrace preventive maintenance. A $200 annual HVAC service prevents a $5,000 replacement. Finally, use simple technology to automate the workflow. It's not about being techy, it's about being smart and protecting your investment. Implement these steps and you'll save your sanity, and more importantly, your money, powered by LeaseBase intelligence.